There are so many amazing women out there doing amazing things. And when women uplift each other, who knows what can happen? Okay, so I'm excited. I am sitting with René Caruso, and she is based out of Rochester. And René, you talk about food,
Mm-hmm.
and it's amazing because there are so many issues that surround food, right?
Oh, yeah.
And especially the holidays are right around the corner. There's so much going on. You have this Thrive in 5. Okay, so where do you want to start? Because there's so much to talk about.
I think the best place to start is understanding that there's a misunderstanding about food.
Okay.
And there isn't good food, bad food, right food, wrong food.
Mm-hmm.
Food is, like that movie Nona's, food is love.
It is.
It's
right?
how we share. It's how we communicate. It's how we impart wisdom when we're sitting around the dinner table with the family.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, food is celebratory. It's anniversaries and birthdays. And at the same time, food can be very triggering for a lot of people, and it's deadly when not handled in a way that supports an individual's body. And we're seeing that play out in our society and all sorts of societies
And
all
across
over.
all ages.
All
right?
ages.
All ages,
All
which
ages.
is kind of interesting because it wasn't always like that, it didn't seem.
Yes.
How did you start this?
I had 2 eating disorders that started the summer of 8th grade.
Okay.
And they snowballed very rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
It was the sickest I have ever been in my entire life, and it was self-imposed. Granted, there's the mental illness component of that, which is it is a genuine disorder,
Right.
and it's not about the food. It's about control.
Yep.
And at the time, the only thing we heard about anorexia, bulimia, was Karen Carpenter.
Exactly.
Had died in 83.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it. It was very, very misunderstood. They did understand that there was a mental aspect that needed to be addressed. What they didn't understand was the importance of nutrition, nor did we really know much about nutrition.
Right.
Because we didn't have the compromised food supply that we do now.
Right.
And I struggled with my disorder probably till I was about 33, off and on. I'd have years of good, years of not so good.
So you said 8th grade. So how did you come out of it the first time, I guess?
Therapy.
Okay.
My parents they tried everything, and they were scared. My stomach was bleeding, and so they realized this was beyond them. So they got me the psychiatric help that I needed, and we worked at it meal by meal.
Because that's what it is.
It is meal by meal.
It is meal by meal. Sometimes it is minute by minute, and I can tell you that from experience as well. But it is interesting because the one thing that you will hear is, oh, what's the big deal? Just eat something. And it is such a huge deal.
No.
Right?
And that usually comes from family and friends.
Yes.
It's like, oh, just have a bite, right? One bite is not going to hurt you.
Right.
And that person has no idea what that trigger could cascade. And it's not the same for everybody. So I can't say this person gives somebody a meal plan, you eat this way.
Right.
Because I don't know what's going to happen for them. We have to look at all aspects of what's going on with their health and wellness. Where are they? Where do they want to be? Are there underlying conditions that we need to significantly address because of metabolic dysfunction? And how do we make food a friend and not a foe? That was the worst part for me because I went to culinary school.
Really?
Yes, I wanted to understand food.
Okay.
I didn't understand how come this person can eat seemingly whatever they want and I can't. And I went to culinary school to get a better understanding of nutrition and food and how does it start to work in your body. And so here's an interesting thing. Anybody who's ever had food poisoning can understand food can hurt you.
Yes.
But we don't look at, well, how many candy bars? What is that doing to you? How many pieces of pizza? Not that pizza is a bad food. Not that candy bars
It's all in moderation,
are bad.
right?
Moderation and learning how to bring that in a way that's sustainable so that it balances out the other nutrients. But if you realize, one of your other guests had said something about food is nurturing, but food is code. It's how our body upregulates and downregulates disease. It's an essential component, as essential as sleep and water and air. We cannot survive without nutrients that our body can use.
And I guess by you understanding how the body works, that's helped you.
It's helped me a lot.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so what was the first lesson that you learned that actually kind of, I don't want to say calmed you, or but kind of let you take a deep breath and be okay? I'm okay, because sometimes we're not okay and we think we are.
Yes. I was an exchange student my junior year. So in the midst of everything going on with the disorder, my parents allowed me to go overseas as an exchange student. It was a dream. And it was one of the first times that I was actually in a country, I was in South Africa,
Okay.
where people were starving because they didn't have access to food. And there was something about that when it's like, oh, but you're doing this to yourself. Regardless of the reasons behind it that needed to be addressed, but I was doing this to myself. And I think that was one little switch that helped me start to look at food
Because
a
they
little.
couldn't help them. I mean, they had nothing to do with it, really.
No.
Right?
No.
So,
And they're starving.
right.
And then I think the second big switch was I became a bodybuilder, a competitive natural bodybuilder. It's like, I understand food now. Eating 9 times a day. I weighed and measured everything. I made almost all of my food. And I was the most unhealthiest I've ever been.
Really?
Except when I was first early diagnosed.
Okay.
And food was on my mind all
the
the
time.
time. I just wanted to have peace with food. I didn't want to think about it every moment of every day. I didn't want to have fat clothes and skinny clothes anymore. Oh, it's torturous. And what it does from a self-concept is brutal.
Yeah.
It's just brutal.
It is, yeah. And I will tell you, and I think I've talked about this only once, but when my previous husband, he was Italian. And so when he died unexpectedly, it was a complete trigger for me. I felt so bad that he wasn't there to eat with me, and it was like, oh, you can never eat pasta again. You can never, espresso, you cannot, you can't do that without him. And so I slowly started, like, oh, not going to do that. Not going to do that either. And we had a daughter who was 11 when he died. And I was trying to hide my grief from her, and then also trying to hide my eating issues that were they'd been with me, obviously. I don't know that they just crop up something. It seems like it's always underlying to some degree.
Yes.
And I can say that mine probably started when I was 12 and in elementary school back then. And I'll never forget, I had this huge crush on this boy, and his friend said, well, if you just lost 10 pounds, he'd probably like you.
That's the seed.
And so I can honestly say, I think that is where it started, because it was like, oh, well, I want him to like me. And just, 10 pounds, what's that?
Yeah.
But now what's interesting is when you look back at those pictures when I was that age, I was like, I was fine.
You were normal.
I was normal.
Yeah.
So but to be aware of that now is the whole different thing. And it is a struggle. And for the people, wait 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So eat and wait 20 minutes. Do not leave the table. Just be, and you're sitting there and you're like looking at your phone. You're like, I mean, it feels like punishment sometimes.
Yes.
Because you can't control it.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that.
No.
So yeah, a little bit of a
Well, thank you for sharing
yeah,
that.
no, I think it's such an important topic. Obviously, I've got, my daughter is 13, and I have kind of wondered about her sometimes, because you pay extra attention and you're like, huh, what is, she didn't eat very much today.
What is she inadvertently learning?
Right.
I'm working with a client right now who's amazing mom. And she said when we were talking that to her, hunger is weakness. And she's got 2 children that are athletes.
Oh, okay.
And we talked about food and how it plays, all these sorts of things. And I said, well, how are your kids doing with regard to food? Oh, no, they're completely different. They don't do what I do. I said, but they're learning from you.
And they're watching.
And not that she's a bad mom. It's not that at all. It's a self-struggle. And I think in our society, it is more challenging for women. I work with men as well, but it is more challenging for women because so much of the changes that we go through from a teenager to when you're in your 20s, to becoming a mom. And then just when you think you're getting things back,
Right.
we start the menopause train.
Right.
And your body shifts. Everything shifts. And so you never quite get a handle on the body. And women tend to think this is a deficit that they have. They're not strong enough. They don't have the willpower. It's just a character flaw. Over and over and over, these conversations I'm having with clients. And it's not. It's about just not understanding what the body needs, what is currently in our food supply that is lacking, that is creating other dysfunctions
Right.
that are negatively impacting the body. So even when you think you're eating healthy, a lot of people think they're eating healthy.
Right.
And when you start to learn about what real nutrition is, then you're able to go, oh, that was easy.
Right. All of a sudden, it's like a light bulb.
It was easy.
Right.
It was easy. And that's one of the reasons the book is a thin book.
It is, yes.
On purpose.
Okay.
I didn't want a tomb. I wanted something that is easy to follow. Do these 5 things. Just start there, and you can change. Exercise, quality of sleep, quality nutrition, working with someone if you're stuck.
So
And
how would a person know they're stuck?
You've tried everything.
Okay. To either lose weight or
Lose weight, gain weight,
weight.
and you lose weight and you gain more weight back.
Okay.
That's another thing that starts to happen. And it's not just the food. At what point in your life did this happen? Are you starting to go through the change? And now we have to also look at hormonal disruption that will create metabolic dysfunction, which means your cells are not partitioning energy properly.
Okay.
And we've all learned that this whole calorie in, calorie out has turned out to be not true.
Right.
Doesn't work that way. If that were the case, we could just eat donuts for breakfast and be good for the day with coffee.
Wouldn't that be fantastic?
With coffee. But you have to balance all these other things. And if there is a level of metabolic dysfunction, 48% of the American population is obese.
48%?
48% of the American population. And that includes teenagers.
I was just going to ask.
One of the first non-alcoholic fatty liver disease transplants, so this is a result of obesity, was performed on a 15-year-old teenager.
Really?
And that's food-driven.
Did it work?
It worked.
Okay.
But that's food-driven. That's a 15-year-old child
That is doing
who had to have their liver transplanted because of the food that they are ingesting.
Okay, so what do you say? So if somebody were to get in contact with you, because you coach people.
Yes.
And what is the first question that you ask them?
When would you like to book a complimentary consultation?
Okay.
Yes, so I direct them to my website. I send them up in my practice portal, send them an intake form because I need to have other information behind them
Right.
to find out if there's any other medical conditions going on that need to be addressed or if there's another doctor involved. And I'm not a medical practitioner.
Okay.
So I work as a coach. And we start to look at what are some of the other things that are going on in their system. And then we map a plan.
Do you have them keep a food journal or anything like that?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So I do not do meal plans at all.
Okay.
They do not work. Even for people who are diabetic. So I have clients who are diabetic. We'll keep a journal in terms of only looking at macros, but just so that they start to balance energy needs.
Okay.
Right? And then we start to make better choices. And the foods fall into 3 categories. No good or bad, no right or wrong, no food guilt.
Oh.
So it's nutritious, it's non-nutritious.
Give me an example of non-nutritious.
Doritos.
Okay.
There's just nothing you can convert to energy.
Right.
In fact, those types of foods are things that your body will have to use energy to get rid of,
Okay.
if it can. And then there are non-essential nutrients. So that falls into categories like, and carbs are not evil, but fruit is a
white rice is.
fruit is a non-essential nutrient. Fruit has polyphenols and phytonutrients and fiber in the right balance with a healthy macronutrient diet, but it is not essential,
Okay.
right?
Right.
So we're going to be looking at macronutrients, non-essential nutrients, and non-nutrients.
So do people ever just say, you know what, it's just too much. This is hard work and I don't want to do this?
No, in fact, the reason my program works so well is people say, I can't believe how easy it was.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Most people have pieces of the puzzle,
Okay.
especially if they've tried dieting behaviors before. Diets don't work because there's a start and there's a finish. There is no start or finish for eating in a lifestyle way.
Right.
My
And the key is lifestyle.
Lifestyle. If my husband and I travel a lot, we're at conferences a lot, we're eating at airports a lot, you have to know how to eat when you're preparing food at home and if you go out to a restaurant or if you go to a conference and the quality of the food isn't always that good at some conferences.
For sure.
So how do you balance out what your body is looking for versus just going and getting junk?
Right.
Because you're going to feel the energy drop. So I teach people how to eat based on how they live. And that's why it works. And we do it quick, 10
Really?
weeks.
10 weeks?
10 weeks. And if they want more help, because they've got other goals, because I also work in anti-aging longevity, do a lot of work with peptides.
Love
so
that.
things that strengthen the inside
Right.
as well so that you're resilient.
So 10 weeks. And what is your feeling about this when a client is successful and it's 10 weeks is up and you're like, okay, you're good to go? How do you feel about that?
It makes me happy and sad.
Okay.
Because on one hand, I want them to know they've learned all the basics. This is not about being perfect 100% of the time. 80-20 works really well.
Okay.
Really, really well. And if you're eating in a consistent, balanced way that doesn't spike your insulin, create digestive issues or other issues, and we start to verify with labs because that's a key piece. What does the blood work say?
Blood, right.
Right? And we brought your inflammatory markers down, your HbA1c is where it should be for a person of your age and for a person of your lifestyle and ethnicity because that makes a difference.
Right.
And your hormones are balanced, then we go, okay, you got this.
Wow.
But almost all of my clients reach out every couple of months. Just wanted to let you know this is working. This is working.
That's awesome.
And Christmas is coming.
Yes.
This time of year, it's amazing. I've already heard it from some potential clients. Oh, but the holidays are coming. The average woman
Yeah.
gains 10 to 20 pounds
During the holidays?
during the holidays.
From starting when?
Usually Halloween.
Really?
Yeah. It just becomes, it's a food cycle.
And then
Food
you
cycle.
always, and then of course you say, oh, well, I'll change in January, right?
Yeah.
The whole New Year's thing.
Yeah. So I often get a lot of new clients this time of year.
Okay, so actually I would think that would be good because then they're working through it and they're getting through their holiday season
And
intact.
they're not suffering.
Right.
They're not dealing with all the food anxiety.
And feeling
They're
deprived.
learning, not feeling deprived because they're not hungry. When you eat in balance, you're not hungry. That's another key component. When you're eating balanced meals, you don't have hunger cravings. Cravings are a result of unbalanced meals, potentially hormonal imbalances, metabolically driven, and habit.
Habit. Like watching
Dopamine.
TV, eating the
Yeah, yeah.
eating
Which
whatever
isn't
you may be
always
eating.
which isn't always bad, but it's like, are you eating this because you want it, or is it just mindless feeding?
Right.
And when you just start to become more aware, it lets you make choices. Do I want this?
Do I need it? Do I want it? Right?
Am I actually hungry? Or, if we're going to watch a nice movie, maybe I'm going to make a protein ice cream. So I've got the flavor of ice cream. It's got protein. It's got healthy fats. It's not going to drive anything. It's not going to spike my insulin. I'll be able to sleep that night as a result as well.
And you won't feel bad about it.
And I won't feel bad about it.
see,
In fact, I'll feel good about it because
Right.
my body will have resources.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it's just simple tweaks, but they've got to be put in a methodical way, and you've got to do them over and over and over.
Because a new habit, it's almost like learning a new habit,
It is
right?
learning a new habit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Thrive in 5, is this available or
Yes.
it is.
It's
Okay.
available on my website under which is renecaruso.life,
Okay.
and it is under the resource tab. It's the first thing under the resources.
So people don't have to be a client to have access to this.
No,
Okay, perfect.
not at all.
You didn't autograph it for me, so I'm going to ask you to do that.
I'm gonna do it.
Thank you. So it is very interesting how food can bring people together. It's a memory. It's it is so much, and I still have my struggles every now and then in full honesty. But it is interesting to me because I know, like I was at a hotel this last weekend, and I was like, it doesn't feel like anything is good.
Yeah.
I just want a good meal, and this is not here, right?
Yeah.
And so I just didn't eat. Yeah, I mean, I had like a iceberg lettuce salad, right?
Yeah.
So, but it was like, oh, I was kind of proud of myself because I was like able to be, you know what, you don't have to eat just because if the food's not good, you don't want it, then don't force yourself, but eat something,
Yes.
right? So, I mean, that was kind of my thinking, and I was pretty proud of myself because I didn't go to the vending machine, but I didn't feel bad either.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
Because you're at least getting something in
Right.
without creating some other form of distress,
Exactly.
which is what happens. It's this distress that starts to wreak havoc in the body. And most people don't get that because they don't, outside of like food poisoning, they don't
Right.
get that some foods,
Mhm.
non-nutritious, just create this slow drip of its decay
Mhm.
in terms of what's happening internally.
Right.
And usually there's some sort of an event that tips the scale, and then you uncover a lot of other things that tend to go along with it. And just by 80% of the time eating consistently better quality foods that actually have nutrition in them is a really good way to start.
Really? So that 80%.
80% is it's better to go 80%
Then
and fall off 20% if you call it falling off.
okay.
Because when you get really good at recognizing I'm feeding myself from a functional standpoint. We didn't have to think about this before because food wasn't as compromised as it is now.
Mhm.
We also didn't have the lifestyles we do now,
Right.
where we're sitting for extended periods of time, we're not exercising as much, and again, the chemical load in food. So if even 80% of the time you can just make better choices that are supportive of your system, that don't leave you with any sort of internal distress, and that means that food's going in and coming out in a timely manner,
Mhm.
then it's better off than going 100% and going completely off.
Right.
Way better.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, what an interesting take on it. And for somebody who has struggled, you know, you make it sound so easy. And I appreciate that because it shouldn't be hard.
It shouldn't be hard.
It should not be difficult, right?
No, just need the pieces of the puzzle.
Okay. Thank you so much, Renee. And your website one more time.
RenéCaruso.life. And I also have a Facebook group called Eat, Evolve, Inspire. And we do everything from metabolic resets once a year to how to take a recipe and turn it into something that's got better quality ingredients.
Oh, I love that.
So, because no foods are really off limits,
Okay.
how do we make it something better?
Okay. And is that open to anyone? You have
Anybody can join.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
You'll get my request soon. Thank you so much. What a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for our Women in Business segment. And you know, if you know a woman who has her own business and should be put in the spotlight, let me know. You can tag me on social media. You can even DM me, or you can email me, and you can send that email to hello@brookeallencommunications.com. I know, a long email, but really, it's amazing to get the word out and to make those connections. And who knows what might come out of it? Because when a woman uplifts another woman, magic can happen. We'll see you soon.